Hey folks, Katie here. Welcome to episode 119 of the Bar is Ankle High podcast, your favorite ADHD podcast that explores life's low bars with wit and wisdom. And if you've been following us on social media, you know that Garrett and I were at the Hands Off 2025 protests last weekend, meaning we didn't record an episode. But you're still going to get some new content this week, because this week we are releasing a best of Patreon clips. So if you enjoy any of the clips that you're going to hear today, you can get all of this and more by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/thebarisAnkleHigh for just $5 a month. And you'll get these types of extended cut episodes at the beginning of every single episode. Can you believe it? So until next week, make sure to join our Patreon, because the bar is ankle high. Get what on your face?
I have ash from the wood stove on my hand, and I rubbed my face earlier, and I had a big streak of it on my face.
From Ash
Imagine if I was
Wednesday.
like, poop. I have poop on my hand. We're going to start recording, and I have poop on my hand.
Didn't want to wash it off, you know.
Crazier things have happened, to be honest. Yeah. Describe it other than it has the consistency of jizz sometimes. Like,
this was much thinner. This cleanser, the Cetaphil cleanser, was much thinner than I was expecting it to be. It's like thinner than hand soap.
but it gives you a good lather.
Oh yeah, like it goes really far, but it was the kind of like
Yes.
it just like squirted right out, and I was like, that can't be right.
Yes. They have ones that are like straight, it's like jizz. Like you do it, there's like hardly any soap. Like I
The
understand
milk
like
cleansers definitely look like ejaculate.
Oh yeah, like I have I used to use the Glossier milky jelly cleanser, and that also looked like jizz.
Hold please.
I would just like it to be on the record. I did not drop my microphone. I caught my microphone when it fell. Katie has actually fully disconnected her microphone from the fucking wall and dropped it. And it wasn't me that did that. So I just think it needs to be known.
I'll bet her.
Like she just had to quick adjust something. Her whole studio just collapsed.
The problem is that the edge of my desk is like a bevel edge. So to get the clamp like all the way in, it's a bitch. Anyway. Oh, I meant to tell you, I'm so excited. So there was finally a situation where I actually dry heaved at something that was so fucking disgusting that
Wait, are you
PK
gonna
was
tell
telling
me
me.
what it is?
Do you want me to tell you?
No.
Okay.
Now your level, so that I have to stop myself sometimes, right? Like I'll go to say something that like happened with the baby or, something an overshare. Because if I know you well, I'll overshare at some point.
Yeah. I don't even have to know you well before I overshare.
That's part of what I'm getting to. And also like my level of going, you know what? I think that this might be too gross for them. I'm not gonna share that as much as I want to, or let me just give them like a little light version of it without the gross details. No, every time Katie will share and will outgross you every time. And she'll be really confident when she tells you to, like it's a fun fact. So based on that assessment, I'm going to say, don't tell me if you dry heaved.
Yeah, but I have to like say
handle
something now because people are going to be listening to this and like losing their minds.
Okay. What
Do you want
type
to take the
of
headphones
gross is
off?
it? What type of gross is it?
It's not like a bodily function. It's something that somebody does, I guess, but somebody who used to work with.
Like a hygienic thing?
It had to do with what they ate for lunch. And it's not a cultural food.
All right, tell me. Okay, fine, tell me.
They would eat raw chicken.
Why?
They just said that it's not bad for you. And I was like...
Salmonella begs to differ.
I guess, like, unless the salmonella bacteria is on the raw chicken, you're fine. But, like, it was the thought of biting into, like, a raw chicken breast that I was
texture.
Like, done. Yeah, completely.
The slime factor.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Like, why do that? You don't have to. There's so many ways to cook food.
That's like that Liver King guy, right? Like all of his, that's all like raw meat.
And the carnivore diet and all that bullshit.
You know what sent me, and actually this is grosser than yours, is I saw a clip of a guy who was eating... He was trying to claim he was big into, like, fermented food, but it was just, like, rotting food. And he was eating, like, rotten pork. And I'm like, you're going to get so many parasites.
He's like in Dumb and Dumber where they're like, I got worms.
You know what, folks? The number of times that Katie has referenced this clip when talking to me specifically is starting to give me a complex. Because I shit you not, this has got to be the 6th or 7th time in the last 6 months that she has used this clip. And I don't know what that says about me other than I spend a lot of time outside, I guess.
I think it just says a lot about the types of conversations we have.
I know at least twice had to do with my worm composting I was doing.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the worms. Did you bring the worms to the farm, or do they die in the winter and you have to get new worms?
They die in the winter. I can't. I'm not. I mean, you could like try and break. They were like outside anyway. I didn't have them in like their own. It's like a whole thing. No, they die. Just like a lot of people's bees. A lot of people's bees never make it through the winter.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes they do.
Where do the new bees come from then?
You can get like eggs,
but like
that were laid
in the wild.
You can get bees from other people.
But I mean, like in the wild, bees. Do they like at the end of the season they like lay their eggs in a honeycomb, hoping that they'll hatch in the spring?
If they're honeybees. But I mean, yeah, it's like some of them will overwinter, and sometimes it's successful, but it's also very, I would say, probably more likely that your bees die during the winter, and you have to get bees from somebody else.
I just have bees inside of my skull.
Same. I just lost a sneeze.
I had that happen earlier.
No, anyway. We recorded like Christmas Eve, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Christmas Eve.
How was your holiday?
It was nice. It was quiet. Didn't really do much. Like we did just small gatherings and pretty low key. It was nice.
My mom gave us like we each just got like a gift bag with like a couple things in it. I got an Olaf coffee mug, and it's like shaped like his head, and
like my chip.
Yes,
mug. Yeah.
Very much. And I got a pair of like those like sweater socks that have like the fleeced lining. So I got those.
I wear now. And stuff like that.
And they're so good. And she gave PK a similar pair of socks that had like kind of a leathery, like suede bottom to them, but similar.
Yeah,
and
like those booty things almost.
Yes.
Like for adults.
Almost
I
like
feel
mucklucks, I think
they're
is
called acorn socks, I think. Acorn?
Okay, so that was a hint on the mini crossword from the New York Times the other day. Was like, this is a brand of slipper with a nut on it. And I was like, or a nut in its logo, and I was like, and the answer was acorn, and I was like, I've literally never heard of this before, but sure.
I think they're like those. They were like a wool, like a thick, heavy wool sock that was lined, and then it had the like a felted or like a leathery bottom. Yeah.
Yeah. So
those are nice.
He took them out of the bag, and we're all kind of opening our gifts and whatnot. And he like looks at the label and he like shows me they were women's size large / extra large. And PK wears a men's size 15 shoe. So.
And what's funny is my spouse is significantly shorter than PK and wears like a men's 13.
Yeah.
Almost the same size foot.
So, we just, I about died laughing. And he was like,
funny.
Your mom and my dad shop at the same places because last year for Christmas, his dad got him a bathrobe. And his dad orders a lot of stuff from like not Oriental Trading, but like a similar type of catalog where they just have anything and everything. Mm-hmm. So we ordered a bathrobe
with like Garfield on the back or something.
No, it was like a charcoal gray and like that like super soft fleeced fabric, like chenille fabric.
Yeah.
And he got it home and goes to try it on. And it was a women's medium. And like the sleeves on it were short on me. And like I couldn't get it to close across my boobs. Like it was very small.
Yes.
With an O. And
even when I was like wearing a medium, there were times where like something like that, I would buy a large.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even when I was wearing a medium.
And so our thought is that he thought he was ordering the right size and item and that the warehouse just messed it up because he's not exactly ordering. It's not like a Sears catalog sort of situation. That's probably someone else's screaming baby.
I was going to say, I know I put the monitor in here. It's late. She's going down late. So she's probably mad about it. But it's hard to take somebody seriously that's mad when they have pigtails like this.
Yeah, that's why nobody takes you seriously at work.
It's because I always have little nubbins on my head. Definitely couldn't be a long maternity leave and a part-time schedule.
No.
Oh, this poor little thing. She's so upset. That's like what do we really think is the most likely thing?
Right. So now we have this running theory that my mom and PK's dad shop at the same places for PK. Specifically.
Just for PK. Yeah.
But she was mortified. She felt so bad. She was like, yeah, but they're large, extra large. And we were like, yeah, but women's, like, it's so different.
And even there's like certain things that I would
and
always rather have something too big
like,
than too small. So like I'm just more likely to size up than down.
Right. And
I hate stuff that's tight.
It's just
what ADHD.
He's 6'4", so like even a large, extra large in women, like something for a woman wouldn't fit him. Maybe if it was like a crop top style he was going for.
If he wanted to go for like a Winnie the Pooh look. But even the large, extra large women's stuff can sometimes be like a literal small. So my spouse just bought these like boots with Sherpa lining for stuff that he has to do. So his feet don't get wet and cold. And ordered like his normal size. And he's like, it said that they run large and I had to size up and, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, hey, you know that literally everything I buy is like that, right? Like, like literally every item I've ever bought in my whole life, it's kind of a guessing game on what their sizing is going to be and the cut is going to be and how it's going to fit. And, you know, the review said this, but I ordered it and then it was like this. I was like, that's literally every brand that sells women's clothing, women's shoes, bras, underwear, everything. Mm-hmm. That's what it's like. I was like, it fucking sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's rough, but that was really fun.
That's funny. that they both did that.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise we had a really good time and it was pretty low key. It was nice.
That's nice. We decided we're like, all right, so we'll I tried to like mash together the plan, but it also involved a bunch of fucking running around that I wasn't planning on having to do to try and make this fucking plan work. So We like mashed it together, and it turned into something where I was gone for 24 hours, which, as it turns out, is not enough to refill the empty cup that people talk about.
Well, I think, yeah, because you're still, like, it doesn't give your, like, nervous system time to come down from, especially going away for 24 hours after such an intense period of problem solving. So, like, it's not like you just coasted into this 24-hour night, like, day away.
Right. Well, what's nice is at the end of the 24 hours, we then had to troubleshoot saving our chickens because a hawk got one of our chickens. So we spent the entire afternoon when we got back trying to secure the chickens, and we were at Home Depot and, like, running errands and trying to, like, get something together. And then 12 hours after that, my spouse left for a week. So, I realized on Tuesday when I went back to work, I didn't have gas in my car. I didn't have food in the house. Didn't have milk that I needed for the baby. So that's kind of... and work has been extraordinarily busy for me. So trying to do a full-time job in 3 days and... keep my chickens alive and my ducks alive and my child alive and myself alive and bathed. It's
gotta wash your butt.
Gotta wash my butt. So it's not been, it was the best of times. It was the worst. We're in the worst of times right now. This is that slog through, like, the end of winter.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Like that. I never really fully read Little Women. I tried, but I'm not.
You want to know what? Me neither. But I also haven't seen any of the, like, adaptation. Like, it's literally a story I know nothing about.
I think I saw one of the old adaptations of it because I think we watched it in, like, our olden days segment kind of thing in elementary school.
Maybe,
or something.
but I'm going to count that as having never seen it because I definitely won't remember.
Yeah, I have like flashes of scenes.
There's somebody named Joe, right?
Yes, and Joe, I think, dies of, like, diphtheria or
cholera
consumption or something.
Yeah,
some bizarro illness that's now coming back into trend.
Yes. Because they were, like, pioneers, right?
No, they just lived during that time, but they weren't going out west.
Where were they? Where does it?
I think they were in England.
What?
I think so.
I thought that was like an American. I'm associating it with Little House on the Prairie. I think that's my problem.
Yes, the Little House on the Prairie were pioneers.
Okay. That was close.
On account of the prairie.
Of the prairie.
And having the one house.
House. On the prairie.
But yeah, so, like, for Little Women, it's I think of it like, yeah, like Dickensian, like when Joe is dying, it's like very sad and dreary and
morose and
like
and...
everything's got, like, a blue filter on it.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, go ahead. Mine was unrelated.
So is mine, kind of. I told you I didn't take my meds. I don't know.
This is my baseline, so.
My thought is that we could, for my bachelorette, go away for, like, a weekend. And then just have that be the thing. But we could go to Salem and have our little weekend in Salem without the boys. Because I think it's stupid. Or we could bring the boys and stick them with the baby. Either way.
Somebody's about to tap out this morning. I can, like, sense it. We wound up going to a place down in downstate, like in the Hudson Valley, and I will say, for the, like, 12 hours we were there, it has, like, a spa attached. So they had like a little restaurant, so you could, like, in theory, drop your stuff, go to your massage, and then they had, like, steam room and the whole nine. Showers. They had, like, one of those big relaxation areas with, like, a fountain and, like, the dim lights and, like, really comfy chairs. And then you can eat in your bathrobe in the restaurant until 4:00. And I was like, that sounds nice. I didn't do it. because I felt very weird sitting in a bathrobe where my spouse was fully clothed.
That is weird.
That would feel weird to me. So
that
chose
feels very
instead,
like casting couch. Like,
yeah. And the other part is the massage that I got. I've never had so much oil in my life. So I was literally sitting there. I did the steam.
You were supposed to actually like leave the massage and then do the slip and slide into the hot tub.
That's the only answer. Yeah,
that's what it's for. Yeah.
I have never had so much oil on me. We were sitting there, and it's one of those things, like, after that, the only thing you want to do is take a shower. Mm-hmm. I want, like, a hot shower, and then I want to have lunch, and then I want to get in bed and take a nap. And I could only have the lunch part. So we, like, had lunch and then walked around, and the whole time, all I could think about the fact was, like, my hair was greasy from all of this oil in my
like
hair.
Sliding through your shoes.
Yes.
Because
and
your
like,
feet are so oily.
Yes. And, like, I just felt like my whole, like, everything was oily. Like, trying to pull up your leggings and your underwear, oily. So everything was just, like, not okay. And then when we finally were able to check in, I literally, like, took a shower, put on the robe, and I was like, wow, this bed's really comfortable. And I was out for, like, 2 hours.
Nice.
Which was great. But my other thought was we just went and saw Nosferatu. For our anniversary for that, like, same weekend, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Everything everybody said is true. It was amazing.
Good.
It was I was like it good enough that I would go see it again, and I'm not really like a movie in theater person. And I would go see it again.
The only review I saw was in the Patreon only group for Beach Too Sandy, Water Too Wet, where they read 1-star reviews. Mm-hmm. And somebody had posted a review of Nosferatu, and the reviewer was complaining about Nosferatu and was like saying all these things. And then at the end they had like, you know, trigger warning for this is in this movie. And it was like, non-vegan vampires. And I was like,
every vampire.
Other than like the Twilight movies, where are you getting a vegan vampire? Like,
actually, the only vampires that would be considered vegan would be the ones from True Blood because they had synthetic blood.
Well, and only if they were exclusively feeding on the synthetic blood, which it seems like most of them weren't.
That's a good point. But if they wanted to be vegan.
Yes, that would be the vegan. Yeah, so it was just one of those things where I was like, and then like as I was reading it, I was like, does this reviewer know that they don't use real blood in movies? Like,
I don't know, but I hate them because that, and I'm like, I mean, grain of salt. I'm a very big fan of the director. I think his name's Roger or Robert Eggers. He's done a bunch of other movies that I love, that are all like weird and creepy. And this, it was great. I'd be curious to hear other people's things. I was like, oh my God, we should invite Katie and PK over. We can have dinner and watch the movie after the baby goes to bed, but you can't rent it yet.
Yeah, I'll definitely rent it once it comes out. I'm also waiting for Wicked to be like streaming, and so I don't have to like pay.
I think it is. Oh, so you don't have to like pay to watch it.
Yeah, because it's like $30 to rent it.
Yeah,
something
we rented
wild.
Gladiator 2, and it was like $20 to rent it.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
Look, I understand.
I don't know how to describe other than I feel like I'm winning when I have moments like that are just like pure joy.
Yes.
Just a little thing I did for myself that just makes me so happy. Listening to the ducks quack when they walk is one of the, like, it just, I'm like, like nobody can take this away from me.
I loved that video. If you aren't following Garrett's farm page on Instagram,
it is pretty cute.
It's very cute, but you posted a video
it's gonna
this
get
morning.
Cuter.
You posted a video this morning showing your farm fit when you were out taking care of your birds, and then you like turn the camera and there's a chicken like in the food bucket, and you're like, "Excuse me, miss."
They're so bad.
But it was like also very much what I deal with my pets.
Yes.
That aren't birds.
Yes.
So
it's a universal
like, excuse
thing.
Me. Like,
the naughtiness is like truly universal with every
truly.
Different people, animals, birds, mammals, everything in between. Like,
Yeah, but I have a lot of whimsy when I play with your child too. So
yes, that's another
fun.
one, like where she just laughs like incredibly hard at. One of us burped the other day, and she was like, thought it was the funniest thing she'd ever heard. So that's another one where I'm like, you know what? It also feels like an act of resistance by just teaching her to go with your gut. If you don't like something, you put your hand up and say no, thank you.
Or you just throw it onto the floor from your high chair,
you swing an arm and slap it and say ow, because that's been another thing that's been happening a lot. Ow.
Well, and clearly also
with a swing.
When I was like helping her try to figure out what food she wanted to eat, and she like threw it on the floor, and I was like, hey, and she like looked at me, and I was like, oh yeah, we don't yell at babies here. But my reaction was like, hey, stop that.
And she was like,
what the fuck?
You don't even go here.
You don't know me.
Yes.
You can't tell me.
We are working. She's just like at that developmental age where it's like the first reaction is just a swing. So we're working on let's find more appropriate responses. So I'm like, if something's happening and you don't like it, I said first, immediate response, no thank you. Hand out and no thank you. I was like, you're not leaving anything up for interpretation with that. You're letting somebody know very clearly.
Now, as a 37-year-old, am I allowed to swing on somebody?
I'll tell you what, the hand up with the no thank you is extremely effective. I actually find myself there's those videos where they're joking about like using gentle parenting techniques on it's so true. Like I find myself using it. I understand that you're upset right now, and I know that this sucks, but unfortunately there's nothing we can do about that, and we just have to get this done.
Let's just catch a bubble.
Yes. Just put it in a bubble and blow it away. Bubble, blow it away. So yeah, there's a lot of techniques that are extremely effective, and it does feel like it's like a contribution to sticking it to the fucking man right now.
It is.
By having a unapologetic woman.
Yeah, I think and to kind of like what we're doing in our personal lives, but also with the podcast, like I think there is that I saw something today that was like, it is not your job to complete the mission of resistance or whatever, but it is your job to not put down the fight.
Yes.
And to not walk away from the challenge. So like you don't have to complete it. You aren't responsible for carrying this over the finish line, but you can't quit.
It's the justice sensitivity episode that we did. 100%. Like,
I mean, there's a reason I re-released it a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Like,
such a good idea.
Because I needed to re-listen to it to be like, okay, yes, this is what I can control. And actually, I just had this conversation with my mom this morning because she texted me. Now, the first smartphone my mom had was back when it was probably one of the last times that you would just like get a phone for free with your plan.
Yeah. Those were the days, man.
Yeah, right.
Those were the fucking days.
If you're young,
and you had choices of carriers.
Yeah, if you're a youth listening to this podcast, back when we were young, it used to be that when you would go in for a 2-year contract with your cell phone plan, they would just give you the phone. I mean, maybe you pay like $10 or $20 one time, but then you'd get the phone.
But the other important distinction is you could only call people that were within your plan like during the day, and then
they had to have the same network or carrier as you. Yeah,
and then in the evening you had usually unlimited minutes in the evening.
Yes,
but, like,
after
you didn't
7
during
p.m.
the day. Yes, and you would have a plan that had like 5 gigs of data and like 500 text messages.
Yes, yeah,
a month.
But you would get the opportunity to change that plan every 2 years or so.
Yes.
And when you changed that plan, they'd give you a phone. So my mom got a Droid of some sort. I don't know that it was like a Samsung even. Like, I don't know that it had a brand, the smartphone. It did have Droid software on it.
My mom keeps getting LG phones.
I almost got an LG oven.
I tried to, like, if I need to do something, I'm like, I can't hear.
Well,
I
so
don't
that
even
was the
know.
thing. So every time my mom had a question about like how to do something on her phone,
Yeah.
I had always had an iPhone. So I had no effing clue how to help her or like walk her
Yeah.
through it. And so finally in 2011, she, I think, no, it had to be more recent than that. Maybe 2014 or 2015, she finally got an iPhone. And she has the iPhone 11.
Haven't gotten there yet.
So she texted me this morning, and she still has the iPhone 11. Now, I did have to do something on it for her the last time I saw her, and I was like, what is going on with this phone? So it is slightly different from my newer iPhone.
Yeah.
But regardless, so she texts me, and she's
It
like,
still has a button.
hers doesn't have a button.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't think so.
I feel like they just got rid of that, but I guess not.
No, you just got rid of that, Garrett.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I was like, God,
That was wild.
I had a button until not that long ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Just you, though.
Anytime the topic of like having to do something on a phone came up, Katie was always like, Jesus fucking Christ, you got to replace that phone.
Because Garrett would be like, oh yeah, I wanted to send you that, but I don't have enough storage on my phone. And it would be like a link to something. Like, it wasn't even like an actual image or a video.
I had so
it was
little
wild.
storage. I used to have to go through like the files on my phone and delete pictures and videos I had sent to people because I just like couldn't anymore. I mean, now I have to do the cloud every month. So
yeah, I
the
do
phones
have
like a bazillion gigs of storage.
Yeah. But so my mom texted me and she was like, if I get a Samsung phone, will I be able to keep all my passwords and my notes? And I was like, no, you won't.
Absolutely not.
And she was like, well, fuck. And she didn't say that. She said shit. But we're going to spice it up in my version of events. And I was like, well, why do you want to go back to like a Droid?
Right.
And she's like, well, I just want to get away from like Bezos and Apple as much as possible. And I was like, right, but Android is owned by Google. So you're still dealing with a billionaire. And she was like, God damn it. And I was like, girl, it's going to be okay.
Right.
The system is designed like that.
Yes.
It's not your fault.
Right.
But the things you can do are like getting all your produce from your local farmer's market whenever possible. And, you know, participating in these community welfare events where you reuse things as long as possible, as many times as possible, so that you don't have to continuously buy new, or you get a Costco membership instead of shopping at Walmart or Amazon whenever possible. And all these different workarounds. I know. Actually, we made a plan. We're going to go in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to bring my mom because she wants to go too. But I took the day off anyway because I have a doctor's appointment. So we're going to go to the one in Massachusetts. Nice. You can take the day off too if you want to go.
When?
March 11th. It's a Tuesday.
Look at the calendar. Okay, I'll have to see what's going on.
But yeah. So I'll bleep out the date so that we don't get stalked by our Patreon people. I can't imagine we would be, but just in case.
They come out just to heckle us. Go home.
Eat a hot dog.
Quit yapping. What was the other thing I was going to tell you? But yeah, no, I think it was really good timing to release that.
Yeah.
Because and I have to remind myself that probably once a week watching the news. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, we're not solving this by ourselves. We're not solving it tomorrow.
Right.
Like the bet in this is that we're just going to give up, throw our hands up, because it's just too it's too much of a grind. Mm-hmm. But again, designed that way. So I know that it's not just us, and I think also trying to remember to like rest and find enjoyment in things and find that little whimsy it's hard. It's hard.
It is hard, but it is there, and
Yes.
it's that sort of thing too where I know that I've seen, and I recall seeing some posts from people like when October 7th and the resulting genocide happened, a lot of people were like struggling with like celebrating the winter holidays
Yeah.
while watching carpet bombings happen in real time.
Yes.
And that kind of thing. And it's like, there's like the duality of man, right? Like, but you do, I think, have to engage in it, not to call, like, I hate calling it self-care because it sounds very girl bossy to say that.
And
but
I think it feels like it diminishes it a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. Because it's not just doing a exfoliating face mask. It's being really pumped that your onions sprouted.
Yes.
And like seeing those little things where it's like, oh my God, I'm growing this. Like, you know, little itty bitty things like that where it's like, oh my God, I made this dough and it's like working. And
I made
it's
one
rising.
yesterday and it's so good.
Oh, good.
I underbaked it a little bit because I was in a rush, but I mean, story of my life.
I've got a dough right now in my oven proofing that's supposed to become bagels. So we'll see.
Ooh.
But the recipe said to knead it. No, not with sourdough. I've done the 2-ingredient bagels before. Have you done that?
Yeah. I have not, but I did do sourdough discard. And I did pretzels too.
I need to do pretzels because I have that. It's basically just the cheese sauce recipe from the Teeny's mac and cheese, but I want to have pretzels with it instead of going to that bar near us that charges an arm and a leg.
They do. Also worth trying is when you make pretzels, you set a few aside and you coat them in cinnamon sugar instead of, you know, just like putting a little bit of flaky salt, whatever, on top. Delicious. Cinnamon sugar. It's like Auntie Anne's.
Yeah, that sounds delightful, frankly.
Yeah.
I did make a whole bunch of croutons with an old loaf of sourdough I had. So
we're probably going to have movers show up and just load stuff on pallets and deliver it.
Okay.
Worst case scenario. That's one of the things I have decided is not going to be my responsibility. Plenty of other things are. And there's some things I can't, just like I can plan the garden out, I can't plan out water and irrigation. So that's like one of those like nose goes. I will.
Yeah, I'm thinking also, speaking of irrigation, of getting like just a big like a plastic trash bin, and then because we have on our shed, we have gutters, like they're kind of like PVC pipes, but they're gutters. But having that, because that's pretty much like, I mean, you know, like 10 feet away from the garden that I currently have.
Yeah.
But then I could at least collect the rainwater and have that as like an irrigation route if I attach a spigot to the bottom, which seems like pretty straightforward.
Yeah, you can probably just drill a hole in it.
Yes.
And get the thing that goes on either side.
Yes. That's
like
my
a beverage dispenser.
And a like some rubber cement to like seal it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then have that, because that was like, not that it was really the end of the world, but like it's pretty far from where the spigot is on my house.
If it's not convenient and easy, it's a deterrent.
And granted, I have the lightweight like canvas hoses, which are
those are super nice.
Oh my God.
I got 2 of those because I saw the one that you got and I was like,
it's
this
amazing.
is the best. Yeah.
It's amazing. And it doesn't really get kinked up. So like even if it's twisted, I mean, almost never is it twisted in a way that like stops the water from flowing.
It's so much more manageable.
Oh my God.
At start to finish, like the whole process of managing that.
Whoever invented that deserves their money.
Yes. Take my money because I will continue to buy them.
Good job.
Yes.
Thank you for solving a real problem.
Yes. Lugging those heavy and they were always like so dirty, and I feel like these don't hold on to the dirt the same way.
No, they don't. And they don't, like even the rubber ones, like if it was in like a wet spot, then it would get like slimy and like mildewy. These ones don't get that way. Yeah. So I just think that like having that kind of, plus I like the idea of being able to like use the rainwater and just like be more efficient. And
I think we have a setup here for that. I just haven't, evaluated.
Because there are some days where we get a shitload of rain, and being able to store some of it for a couple days.
Yep.
So that at the end of the week, when the rain has stopped,
Or you get you've been waiting for rain because it's been dry, but then you get too much too fast, and the ground can't really absorb it because it's not like a soaking rain. So it gives you an opportunity to like kind of spread that rain total out.
Yeah.
And it's natural for the plants to be getting rainwater. And I've had like a hose overhead, which like a sprinkler, which works, but also plants get like burned in the sun, in the direct sun when you do that. So, and it makes a lot of garden plants more like susceptible to disease and pests from getting top watered. So I really want to do one of those like soaking hoses, like the perforated.
Yeah. My mom had one of those when we were a kid. We used it as a sprinkler.
Cute.
Oh, yeah. We would just drag it out in the backyard.
She's like, hey, it works.
She's like, yeah, get out of the fucking house.
Yeah, go for it. Have a blast.
Yeah, we used that. We had that. I wonder, well, she must have gotten rid of it. There's no way she still has it.
And that rubber, they break down.
Yeah.
Eventually.
That's true.
But yeah, that's
30-year-old.
You're like, that's probably fine. It's probably fine. So yeah, we have, it's that feeling where you're like, okay, I just need like a little bit more sunlight and then I'll have the energy.
That's just it. Like I have such like ants in my pants, like waiting for the thing being like just a smidge of fucking warmth.
Yes.
And like the other day when we got like a bunch of rain and front, because I want to also put in like a front walkway because we have like our front stairs and then like a concrete landing and then nothing. So there's no path connecting it to the driveway.
Yeah.
And I would just like one because in the winter, it'd be nice to have like a set path to salt and like shovel and all this stuff. So, but I also...
And then you can salt it and you can have something that's like legitimately ice free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because our mailman like walks up to our door to deliver our mail.
Yeah.
So I'd also like, them to have a kind of straightforward path. But, yeah, so it's just like a whole series of things, like so many projects that I want to get done on this house that I rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, we're almost there. We're almost there.
I know. It's so close. And you keep getting those hints. It was just so funny the other day.
As people are hearing this, the clocks have already changed. So,
oh, that's right. That's like what, next week, right? We're down to a week now. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait.
A week from
like
today.
A new person. Oh, I'm going to feel like a new person. That's so great. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be a real fucking shit ass adjustment with a
for
toddler.
The baby. Yeah.
But the light's coming back. So, I'll deal with whatever in the meantime.
Yeah. I mean, at least while you're dealing with it, you'll be able to plug into the sun.
Yes.
Also, you know what I saw at work the other day? Somebody had their therapy lamp at their desk. And I was
thinking, I've
that
thought
is
about
fucking
that.
genius because you're already dealing with fluorescent lighting anyway. You might as well get like the good kind of fluorescent lighting that makes you not want to go postal.
I wanted to get one of those. I was trying to find a light I could get for my desk that mimicked daylight instead. That felt like a softer, more natural light to maybe kind of.
Well, don't you have one of those Hatch alarm clocks?
I do. Oh yeah. We have that like sunrise. Yeah. And maybe I'll do that because my spouse has decided he absolutely hates it. We tried to use it for like white noise while we were sleeping, and it only has one sound.
Oh,
and it's kind of waves. But
I'll tell you, my Calm Unlimited subscription that I got that one time.
Yeah.
Whenever they offer it, folks, like every once in a while they offer like you pay once for life. And like, there's not like an annual subscription.
Paid like
it's not monthly.
$60,
something like that. Yeah. Do it because you pay for it once and then that's it.
That's true.
And you get all of their sleep stories. It plays like when your phone is locked. It's like ad free. It's the best.
Yes. Yeah, and they have like a pretty good selection too. If there's
absolutely.
I've used that for like work. To like have headphones in, have something that's not going to distract me. I've also done like some of the stuff on the Calm app. So yeah, no, it is a good one to use. Yeah,
I use their what's it? I think pink noise or brown noise or something. I know it sounds like poopies, but One in the pink, one in the stink.
Fucking God.
Well, there goes all our Patreon subscribers.
Oh,
but it's like
jarring.
high pitched enough that like I keep working but I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
I also
yeah.
listen to so
Yeah.
many podcasts that I just have those going basically on repeat at work.
Oh, see, I can't. Yeah, I can't while I work. I usually will listen to podcasts while I'm driving or cooking or cleaning. Yeah. I can't do it while I'm working because I can't think. I just start to have that feeling that I have like too many narratives going on at the same time.
Yeah, it can be like that for me, but
Yeah.
usually people don't talk to me at work, so it's ideal.
Yeah, then it might work better for me.
Because the bar is ankle high.